Quasi here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how I transitioned from a professional corporate career in engineering, which was something that was unfulfilling to me, into starting up my own business that was inconsistently doing around 0 to 10K a month, and then I scaled that up to consistently hitting $85,000 a month every single month. And did all of this without having to try out another mindset technique, another meditation technique, or another sales funnel, another advertising gimmick, or even, another sales gimmick ever again, okay? And by the end of this video, you're going to learn the 3 keys that you need to implement this system in your life that's going to truly make that internal shift so that you can transition from that block you're having right now, the wall you're hitting right now, whether this be in your business, whether this be in your professional career, or even in your high performance career if you're an influencer, and really get to a point where you break through to a completely new reality and a completely upgraded version of yourself. And I'm going to be very respectful of your time here. So just for sticking around till the very end, there will be a 1-page cheat sheet that is going to summarize everything that I've talked about and actually give you the real tools that you need to make this system a reality in your life. So you might be wondering, who the hell am I, and why am I making this video? What gives me the right to make this video? And I understand that there's a lot of marketers out there, they make a lot of these videos, make all these big claims, and I'm also sick and tired of all that bullshit. So I'm going to be very respectful of your time, and every single claim that I make here is going to be grounded in real concrete proof. So here I am logged into our Stripe account, and as you can see in the month of August, we generated around 10,000 in our Stripe account and an additional 10,000 in our PayPal account, which added up to a total of 20,000 in just cash collected. And then in the month of September, this took a sharp increase and went up to 56,000 in just cash collected. And then shortly in October, it went up to 70,000 in cash collected with an additional 15,000 in accounts receivable. Now, if you're wondering how this happened, how this sharp jump happened, it's because of everything I'm about to share with you in this video today, the exact 3-step system. But even on top of that, there's a reason why hundreds of thousands of people are watching my videos on YouTube, and they're even becoming satisfied clients. Now, why am I making this video? What is the real purpose of this video? Well, this video is primarily for those looking to fix the internal problem. Because chances are, if you're watching this video, you've tried out everything externally. You've tried out all the techniques, all the meditations, all the subliminals, all the subconscious programming, all of that. You've tried out all the coaches that have taught you how to build out your funnels, taught you how, promised you that you would get to your 20K, 30K month in your business, but for some reason that hasn't happened. And you've tried, you've done everything, but doing wasn't enough. So that's why you're here. You're looking at this video because we're going to be delving into the being paradigm, okay? We're getting into what actually causes the doing, what's actually that invisible barrier that's holding you back. So this video is primarily for 3 types of people. First of all, if you are a professional and you're working a full-time career and you've made all of these attempts at, let's say, real estate investing, you've tried out starting up an Amazon FBA business, a dropshipping business, and really you've tried to get to financial freedom so that you could transition out of the professional career, the full-time grind, but you have been unable to do so, and you found out that it doesn't stick, then this video is perfect for you, because this video is going to show you how to get that crystal clear clarity so that you can actually have the perseverance and do something that you actually love, rather than having to have a means to an end. Okay? And also, while doing that, get to that financial freedom you actually want. Number 2, if you're an entrepreneur and you're hitting a revenue barrier in your business, like I was, let's say you're stuck at $10,000 to $20,000 a month and you really want to scale up to that $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a month in your business, then this video is perfect for you. Typically, you've tried out every single coach, every single sales technique, every single gimmick, every single funnel, Facebook ad, and none of that has really yielded the results for you. And you finally realize that the problem isn't out there, but the problem is in here. Okay, so this video is perfect for you if you are in that position as well. Finally, if you are an influencer, if you are a creative and you want to move forward in your career, if you are an athlete, then this video is for you as well. Because this video will show you how you can get to a point where you get unstuck in that same thing, that same Groundhog Day that you're going through every single day, and really get to a point where we shift your neutral level so that you're worthy of much more than what you're achieving right now. And as a result of you shifting at that internal level, you hit higher levels in your creative career. Let's say you're a filmmaker. Let's say you're a YouTube influencer. Let's say you are an athlete, and you permanently maintain those high levels of performance. Okay, so this video is for you as well. So what I'm going to be sharing in this video are the exact 3 keys that me and my clients have used to shift our neutral levels and going from what we've been experiencing day in, day out to consistently being able to maintain a higher level of performance. So to give you an example, I started off in my professional career and I was stuck there and I thought I was only worthy of the cubicle, but then I moved to that inconsistent 0 to 10K a month, and I thought that I was only worthy of that, to being worthy of the 80K a month. And as a result of that, that came into my life as well. And I'm consistently hitting that now. So you're going to see how you can get to those levels you actually want to get to and be able to maintain it. Okay, not just inconsistently hit it 1 month and then fall back the next. So just before I begin this video, I wanted to share a few house rules and really who is this video is not for. So first of all, this video is not for you if you're looking for a quick solution to your problems and you're just looking for another video to solve a problem that will take you a lifelong commitment to fix. Okay, so this system is a lifelong commitment from you. Okay, second of all, this video is not for you if you're just looking to get another video and not actually value working with a coach. You don't understand the value of having someone in your life to notice your blind spots, help guide you, and make the necessary iterations needed in order for you to move forward. If you are either one of these, then you are welcome to click out. Okay, cool. So if you're in this video now, I'm going to share with you the 3 keys to make this transition happen in your life. Right? So first of all is clarity. Okay? If you understand clarity, then you'll understand that if you have a clear vision of where you want your life to go, you don't need to do much. It's going to come to you anyways. So what I mean by clarity is that most people, what they do is they always start to look for the how and the when. Okay, they look for, okay, I think I want this. How do I get this? Okay, Quasi thinks he wants financial freedom. Let's start trading in the stock market. Let's start real estate investing. Let's start drop shipping. Okay, let's see how all of these are going to work. And because they don't have that certainty, that clear vision of where they want their lives to go, they try out a million different things. Okay, they try out a million different business strategies, a million different techniques, and there's no focus. The focus is missing because there's no certainty in your what it is you truly want. And then people always find that when times get tough, and that happens in any business, when times get tough, they're never able to stick to it because they don't have their why in place. Because if you have the right why in place, you actually have a bigger vision of where you'd like your life to go, then you don't need to do anything. Or everything else will just fall into place. The perseverance comes naturally, right? So finally, people also don't understand who it is they need to become. Okay, you must ask yourself, in order to achieve these goals, who do I need to become? Because anything in your external world will follow as a result of the change that has occurred in your internal world. Okay, so this is something absolutely key you must understand. So now to give you an example of this, when I first started off and I wanted to transition out of my professional career, I too tried out all of those different venues, right? I tried trading, I tried investing, I tried drop shipping, and really none of that worked because I saw that when times were getting tough, I just ended up making a loss in the stock market and I pulled out. I didn't have a good enough why, a powerful enough reason to persevere. Right, so once I really got clear on what it is I truly wanted for my life, what's the purpose of my life? Why do I even get up every single morning? Finding out that why and finding out who I needed to become, then the how and when just fell into place all on their own. I naturally fell into the communities that showed me how to start up my coaching business and really how to get my YouTube up and really how to make videos, and everything just started to align for me because I was clear in everything. Okay, and once you get this level of clarity, all of those things that previously were unknown to you will just follow into your life. It's almost as though it's magic, but it's really not because you're getting super clear. Imagine knowing with crystal clarity what it is you want. All the distractions you have, they just fall out. Let's say you have this channel, right? But right now, this channel for you has all of these holes in them because you're not truly clear on what it is you want. So you try out the real estate investing, you try out the stock market trading, you try out the drop shipping. What happens is your energy is now leaking out in here, but you want to channel majority of it into doing something that's fulfilling through this channel. But the problem that's happening right now is you have all of these leaks. Once you get crystal clarity on what it is you want, why it is you want, and who it is you need to become, these leaks get sealed up and that shiny object syndrome vanishes, okay? So this is truly what helped me transition out of my professional career into doing something that's actually fulfilling. And now I want to share with you the story of one of my clients who also got crystal clarity, laser sharp clarity on his life, on his longer term vision for his life, and how he transitioned out of his professional job into doing something that he loves as well. Now I want to share with you the story of one of my clients, Neil, and how he went from an unfulfilling career in a professional corporate job to being a purpose-driven, financially free entrepreneur. Prior to getting started in the Reality Mastery program, Neil had tried all sorts of things. He tried out shadow work, he tried out belief shifting, all the internal work, but none of this gave him a lasting change. He would always see that there was something missing. Something was just haunting him every single day and prevented him from moving forward. Even on top of that, he tried out investing and he tried out an Amazon FBA business, but he saw that he would quickly get burned out from that as well. And it just felt like a struggle every single day. But after we got started in the program, even within the first week of being in the program, Neil saw that he got so much clarity around his life. And I remember when we got on our first coaching call for the program, we got so deep down into his why that the clarity set in so perfectly that the next step for him just became clear. And now he's going on to actually coach burned out executives and help them recover. And he saw that this is something that he truly always wanted to do, having personally struggled with this himself. So if you don't believe me, here's what he has to say himself.
Hey everyone, my name is Neil Boisvert. I'm up in Vancouver, Canada, and I've recently completed Quasi's Reality Mastery Program, and it's made a world of difference in my own personal life. So before I started the program, I was doing endless shadow work, and it just seemed like every day I was stuck in the Groundhog Day of like clearing shadows and occasionally being trapped by my victim mentality and all these other negative things. And I was really prone to shiny object syndrome, where I'd start something and never complete it because I didn't know my deeper purpose of why. Ever since working through Quasi's course, I immediately woke up. I mean, it was my old self tried to fight me on a lot of different things, but once I understood my core emotional driver, my deepest purpose of why, and I woke up essentially. So Quasi helped me really wake up, have immense clarity in my life as what I want to do, and as well as give amazing strategies to actually shift at the deepest possible level of your being, which is your identity. And now, after that I've completed the course, I'm actually actively working towards something I'm deeply passionate about and just wake up feeling energized every day, which is actually helping burnt out executives recover.
So just to conclude this point, the key thing you need to understand is really look at your life. Right now, look at your life where you are right now. And what's your vision 5 years from now? What would you like to do? 10 years from now? What would you like to do? Even to this day, I look at my company, I look at Reality Mastery, the program that I offer, and I look at, well, where do I want it to go? What impact do I want it to make? What does my life stand for? And really start to get clear about all of these things within you. Once you get this level of clarity, then all of those things that you actually wanted will start falling into place. You'll seal up all of these channels of all of these leaks. So now that you know the importance of clarity, let's get to identity. Now, this is probably the most powerful thing you're going to see on the internet. This is the exact thing that helped me get unstuck from that 0 to 8K a month inconsistently to consistently hitting $80,000 a month in my business. So by now, you've probably tried out every single technique and you've done the doing paradigm, okay? And why this identity paradigm comes in is if you look at the nature of reality, everything is in a constant process of being and becoming. You know, nothing will ever truly be its ultimate potential and stop, but rather it will keep evolving. If you look at a butterfly, you know, it starts off as a caterpillar, it evolves into a butterfly, and then it just keeps on becoming more and more. The atoms of its body dissipate, and then it forms something else. This is what keeps happening to us every single day as well. We're always in a constant state of becoming and being. And the real question is, who are you becoming? So the model of reality, that if you understand this is going to completely change your life, is first of all, you've got to understand that reality is influenced in 4 levels, okay? The first level of which is the action level. This is where you focus on doing all of those things. You try out the next gimmick, the next technique, you know, you try out all the hypnoses, the subliminals, and you try out the different business funnels and the real estate investing, and you try out the advertising, but then you see that nothing works. You move one step forward and then one step back. Why that keeps happening is because the action level is tailored to influencing reality by trying to move the pieces directly. Okay, when you try to move these pieces directly, what you're essentially doing is you're trying to manipulate reality without understanding what causes the configuration of these external pieces in the first place. So what really influences the positioning of these pieces is an invisible magnet known as your internal world. So what we try to do is, without changing this internal world, we try to move the pieces. And you can imagine the immense amount of resistance you encounter when you try to move the pieces without moving this magnet that actually influences their positioning. This is why people get temporary results, or it feels like a struggle every single day when you just focus on the action level without having a clearly defined vision. So this is why the action level by itself is very, very limited. The next level below that is the emotion level. Now here, your emotions do energize the actions you take, because if you're passionate, if you're truly passionate about doing something, it will come from a completely different place, right? But the problem with this emotion level is that just as quickly as we get attached to the feelings of inspiration, we also get attached to the feeling of lack of inspiration. Okay, so when we're demotivated, we get attached to those feelings, and those feelings start to run us. This is why procrastination happens. And you only rely on these good feelings to help you do something. You know, sometimes when I'm not feeling good, I just say, oh, you know, I don't want to do this. This is what happened when I first started my entrepreneurship journey. You know, oh, I don't feel like getting on that call, that sales call, and talking to people. You know, I just don't feel like it. Oh, I don't want to do it today. I'm just going to cancel the call and just, you know, I'm just going to relax until I feel good, and then I'll get on the call, and then I'll reschedule it. Right? So now I'm fighting against myself because now these emotions are running me. I want to be a certain way, but I'm listening to the emotions to guide me. Right? So when you become like this, when you become attached to these emotions, you become a slave to them. You now no longer use your emotions to help you do something powerful in your life, but rather you become a slave to them. Okay, this is where most people get stuck. So this emotion level becomes a huge hindrance in your growth as well. Now, if you go below that, you have the beliefs level. Now, powerful shifts happen here because your beliefs literally govern the predominant emotions you feel. But the problem with the beliefs still are that they're just a symptom of a much deeper underlying cause. And I bet you've never heard this before, because all around, you'll see like everywhere in all the books that you've read, they always preach the beliefs level. All over YouTube, you've probably seen videos that preach that belief. Belief is everything. All you need is belief and discipline. This is all you need. But the beliefs is still just a symptom. So that's the problem. And the way we're going about changing these beliefs is the real problem. Okay, so we try to treat these symptoms. When we, let's say do a technique, when we do a visualization, we say an affirmation, we say, oh, I'm confident even though you don't feel confident. Oh, I'm happy even though you don't feel happy. All of these become an actual resistance. Now, why it's important that you stop resisting and stop doing these techniques is because if you look at the mind, the beliefs work at that level. Right? The beliefs work at the level of the mind. If you look at your mind right now, it doesn't work on addition and subtraction, but rather on multiplication and division. So to really give you an example of that, if I ask you to not think about a pink elephant right now, all you can do is think about this pink elephant, right? This is how the mind works. So anytime you're doing these techniques, you say an affirmation to yourself, you do a visualization, you do another technique, you do some hypnosis. What happens is these underlying feelings that you have that are wanting to get out, you're basically resisting them, you're suppressing them, they're getting repressed. And then they start to haunt you at your conscious living. So these patterns, these same patterns that you keep experiencing, and you just can't explain what they are and why they're occurring, are all occurring as a result of some suppressed and repressed belief that you've tried to stuff out with some affirmation. Right? I remember when I was getting on my sales calls, I'd be like, oh, I'm a confident coach, I'm a confident salesperson, I close deals with ease and all of that. And as I kept doing that, I saw that I was just resisting what I was feeling in the moment. And then I just broke down. All of it accumulated, and eventually I broke down. Right? So this would keep happening over and over. This is why I would move one step forward and then one step back. Because essentially, when you do a technique, you're trying to extinguish a fire. The fire is a symptom of something, but there's an actual source that's causing this fire. Right? We try to stomp on this fire with the techniques that we do, with the meditations we do, with the seminars we attend. And I had a client who, for 10 years of her life, she was doing all of these techniques. She was going to all the Tony Robbins seminars. And what would happen was she would feel really good after, but her abundance block wouldn't really be permanently lifted. Right? So these seminars would give her a temporary high. She would do the fire walk and be like, oh, I felt really good, but I wasn't able to sustain that. It lasted a couple months. And then it went away. And now I'm back to my old ways. Why was this happening? She was just treating the symptom. By doing another technique, you treat the symptom of the problem, not the actual source. The beliefs are just a symptom. Okay? The real source of this fire is the invisible gas leak that causes it, but we're never able to see that. And the real source of these limiting beliefs you're experiencing right now in your life, that's causing the reality you're experiencing, they all stem from your own self-conception. The one that was formed unconsciously, the one that you innocently accepted. So it's in the subconscious identity that you crafted for yourself. If we shift you at the subconscious identity in a conscious manner, if we consciously shift you at this identity level, naturally your beliefs are going to shift. When that happens, the predominant emotions you feel will shift. And when that happens, the habits and the actions you take are going to completely shift as well. And everything that you were previously stuck in, you will naturally get unstuck. Okay? And where I saw this to be the biggest key for me was in my personal life, I had 3 identities. Okay? So before I started my business, I was the version of Quasi that was only worthy of the cubicle life. Okay, the corporate cubicle life. And because of that, any attempt that I made, my mind would come in and tell me, oh, don't try it, it won't work. Oh, just don't do it, it won't work. I wasn't really worthy of the kind of business person I wanted to be. But there was a part of me, my heart, wanted to transition out. But I couldn't do it, right? Because something was holding me back. That was my identity, the version of myself that I was then. After understanding all of this, I shifted into the 2.0 version of myself that was worthy of the business. And what I saw was that I started my business and I actually started making money from it. I was making around 0 to 10K a month, but it was inconsistent. So there was another identity problem that had to be dealt with as well. Because now I didn't feel worthy of the 20K a month that I actually wanted to make. I always had this dream, this vision of being able to do 20K a month in my business. It was just a big vision that I had, that I set a year before I started my business. Right? So I started my business in February, and in July 2018, I set myself the goal of, by a year from now, I'm going to do 20K a month in my business. But when I did start my business, I saw that I wasn't worthy of that. So that never happened for me. I would move one step forward towards the 20K, one step back. And this kept happening over and over and over. And what I really realized was that I wasn't really worthy of that 20K a month. Every single effort that I took, the way I even communicated with my clients, the way that I actually presented myself in my YouTube videos, the way I actually coached people, I wasn't worthy of charging the high prices that I needed to charge in order to be able to make 20K a month. Because I truly, internally, I wasn't worth it. It wasn't my funnel. It wasn't my offer. It wasn't, the sales tactic or the sales script that I used. Hell, I don't even use a sales script anymore. It was me. Within me, I wasn't truly worthy of that. And that's why it never became a reality for me. So once I really shifted that and became worthy of the 20K a month, in August 2019, I hit my first 20K a month. In September 2019, I hit my first 50, 60K month and 85K month after. So all of that happened because I became truly worthy, that 3.0 version of myself that is truly worthy of that income that I wanted to hit. So now I want to share with you the story of Tiffany, one of my other clients who was able to get from 5K a month in her business and 3 years of being stuck at that 5K a month to within 4 weeks of being in the program, getting into 15K a month, doing nothing but shifting herself at the identity level. So now I want to share with you the story of Tiffany and how she went from $5,000 a month in her business to consistently hitting $15,000 a month. Prior to getting started in the Reality Mastery program, she had her own coaching business, transforming women's lives and helping them. And she started this business around 3 years ago. And within those 3 years, she's only had maybe one 5-figure month. And the rest of them were all hovering around $5,000 a month. And she saw that she wasn't attracting the kind of clients she wanted to work with. And also she was stuck on a corporate job on the side. But after getting started and really shifting at the identity level to that worthy version of herself that is a successful coach, that is a successful, qualified salesperson even, she saw that when she was jumping on these calls, she had more conviction and confidence in herself and in her offering. And as a result of this confidence, it started to transfer out into her clients as well, resulting in $15,000 a month consistently. So this sharp increase happened all as a result of Tiffany becoming that worthy version of herself. Now, if you don't believe me, here's what Tiffany has to say for herself.
So I've been working with Quasi for 3 weeks. I actually just had my third coaching session with him this past Friday. So, but my wins came in like week 2. I signed 2 new clients in 1 day, resulting in me having an $8,000 day in my business. Now, y'all, I haven't had for real an $8,000 month, let alone like a day. So I had an $8,000 day. Seriously, 2 clients, $8,000, like ridiculous. Also, I was just I'm getting back now just today, like, I don't know, an hour ago from Houston, where I was, invited to be a speaker, like a panelist speaker, where they paid for my travel yesterday. They paid for me to get to Houston in order for me to do to be one of the guest speakers. Like that, it's just like crazy. And so I just really want to share this video because I'm telling you, I'm not doing anything different in terms of work. Like my work is the same thing I've always done. Like I've always had a routine and a schedule. But what's different for me is my mindset and just stepping into the person that I desire to be. That's it. Like I'm really fully stepping into the vision. Whereas before I looked at it kind of like separate from me. I was just kind of acting and going through my life like the person I wanted to be was something separate over there because it hasn't happened yet.
So now you know the importance of shifting yourself at this very, very core. Because chances are everything you've been doing right now has been catered to treating the surface level problem. You're trying to put a band-aid when there's a wound that needs to be healed. Okay, I was there too. I know what it's like. So you've probably tried the action level. You've probably tried the emotion level. You've probably tried shifting your beliefs too. But none of it has worked. Okay, because the real problem is in the identity. So the key I want to share with you and the key I want you to take away from this is really understand where you are right now. Which version of yourself are you right now? And after getting clarity on what it is you want and why it is you want it, you probably also know who it is you need to become to achieve it. So really look at that bridge between who am I right now and who it is I need to become, and work on this becoming every single day. Work on consciously embodying this version of yourself that you need to be. And you'll see that this problem, this wall you're hitting with your business, it's going to be completely obliterated. Okay, so now you found out 2 of the 3 keys needed to completely use this system. And by the way, make sure you stick around to the very end of this video because I have a free cheat sheet to give away that is going to explain this whole system in full and actually give you a summary of the tools we discussed. So now let's move to key number 3, which is coordination. And now this is probably the most powerful thing that is going to cause consolidation of these 2 things we've learned. So make sure you stick around till the very, very end of this, okay? So essentially what coordination is course correcting. So what is going to happen is in this journey, as you're embarking on it, you're going to see that there's going to be times where you have a high and there's going to be times where you have a low. The highs and lows average out to your neutral level. Okay, so you have this particular neutral level, but we want to shift this neutral level by shifting ourselves at the identity level. When you shift your identity level, you go from being worthy of that 10K month to being worthy of that 50K month or whatever you want to hit. But you're going to see that right now in your life, it's going up and down, but it's staying, the neutral level is staying stagnant. We want to make our neutral level go like this, right? So we want to go up and down, but we want to coordinate it upwards. So how you do that is really getting an intimate understanding of this 1.0 version of yourself and this 2.0 version of yourself that you need to be. And you're going to see that from time to time, this 1.0 version of yourself is going to come back to haunt you. Okay? So you're going to embark on your business, you're going to embark upon your career, you're going to want to make these decisions that you know you need to make, but for some reason you can't make them, right? And you start to accept it. You say, oh, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. And that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. And I'm not here to give you motivational, but really help you see why you're not able to become this 2.0 version of yourself. This version, this 1.0 version of yourself has become very strong. As a result of you having lived up until this point a certain way, it's become very, very powerful. Okay, so this new version, this 2.0 version of yourself is not able to survive. And this is going to be a huge hindrance in your growth. What we want to do is consolidate this 2.0 version of yourself and kill this 1.0 version of yourself. The 1.0 version of Quasi that was content with being cubicle professional level, I had to kill off. The 1.0 version of Quasi that was just worth the 10 to 20K a month, I had to kill off, right? So that I could truly be worthy of the 80, 100K a month that I want to make. So this is what's happening right now. From time to time, you're going to see these 1.0 tendencies come up. So the question becomes, what do you do when this 1.0 version of yourself comes up? And this is when we get into the realm of surrender and letting go. Okay, so most people, what they would do, most business people, I understand you guys are super motivated, you want to fight. But when you fight this old version of yourself that comes up, you cause that multiplication and division effect. You start really multiplying and dividing out this current reality you're experiencing. So the key is not to fight. And then what people do is, okay, I mustn't fight, so I must let go. I must surrender. Cool. And what they do is they try to let go. You can't try to let go of anything. Okay, if you try to let go, you're going to fuck up. Because trying to do something is also resisting that current situation. Now, there's a very, very powerful phenomenon called power, which goes against force, okay? So there's power versus force. What we try to do is we try to force our goals instead of using power. Force is akin to us fighting to achieve our goals and thinking that we need to, fight something and then be worthy of our goal, but it doesn't work like that. You become worthy of your goal first and then it follows. That is the realm of power. We want to get into the realm of power to eliminate this 1.0 version of ourselves. So when this 1.0 version of yourself comes up, when those old procrastinating tendencies come up, when those fears come up, when those doubts come up, what you must do is really learn to let it be. Don't let go, but let it be instead. Because when you let be, what happens is that this old energy, it dissipates, right? So there are three qualities of your attention. There is positive attention, there is negative attention, there is neutral attention. When you attribute positive and negative attention towards something, you attract and repel reality. Positive and negative attention have the power to attract. Neutral attention has the power to dissolve. When you neutrally observe something and let it be without resisting it, without putting negative attention on it, it naturally dissipates. So to give you an example, when I was at my stage, when I was transitioning from that 0 to 20K a month consistently, I saw that in the month of May, I hit absolute zero in my business. I was hitting 0 to 3K a month and then going up to 5K, going up to 8K, and it was just up and down, but the month of May was absolute zero. Okay? And that absolutely devastated me. But what I started to see was that this was the 1.0 version of myself unconsciously. The old beliefs that I had, the old identity that I had coming up to haunt me. Okay? So when I actually gave up the fight and I said, fuck it, let it be. Let me make zero this month. What happened was next month, I hit 5K. The month after that, in July, I hit 8K. August, I hit 20K. September, I hit 50K. October, I had 85K. All of these things were possible because I let go of this 1.0 version of myself. This is ultimate coordination. When you understand this, you will be unstoppable. Now I want to share with you one of my clients, Niall, who actually used this coordination principle to completely transform his life, let go of his old self, his old drug-addicted, compulsive behavior-addicted, procrastination tendency self, to getting to a point where he actually started pitching shows to Netflix, living his dream as a creative screenwriter, and all of these opportunities that he wanted are falling in place for him. I want to share with you the story of Niall and how he transitioned from a life where he was dependent on drugs, on habits that weren't serving him. Even though he had these big dreams and big visions, it seemed like there were two versions of himself at any given time. The version of himself that his heart desired to be, but the version of himself that he kept falling back into. And as a result, he saw that he was putting aside his dreams and staying to that version of himself that was very strong, very rooted, and he was unable to break free from it. Before we got started on the program, Niall was stuck in an abusive relationship with his ex, and he saw that for some reason he just couldn't put this relationship aside. And as a result of that, he used drugs to cope. He had habits that weren't serving him, and he was using that to cope. And as a result, he was slowly giving up on his dream of becoming this successful screenwriter that he wanted to become, and actually caved into all the doubts. After we got into the program, what happened was within 6 weeks, getting so much clarity on his life and actually being able to consolidate that version of himself that he needed to be, he was able to transition out of that old self, kill it completely, and he's been sober since. He hasn't touched drugs since, and he's been laser sharp focused, and everything that he's wanted has started to fall into place, all as a result of this consolidation. And now he's going on to pitch shows to Netflix and working with big investors, all in the matter of 6 weeks. And he's embodying successfully the identity of a visionary screenwriter. So if you don't believe me again, here's what he has to say for himself.
My life before the Life Mastery program was pretty distraught. I was in a point in my life where I couldn't realize that I was hurting myself through my mind and my thinking patterns. I was in a very abusive relationship at the time, and I didn't realize everything that she was doing to me was affecting me, and she started to influence my behavior, and I started to act like that. We recently broke up, but I think it was for the best because it made me realize, like, whoa, maybe it's not the best time to be with her. During the program and working with Quasi, these modules that he assigns to us just made me more disciplined. And before I was like doing drugs and living my life vicariously through others, but afterwards I just found that that inkling, that one thing through these modules that I can always reassess what I need to do to change. And I noticed like immediate change right after. Like people would come into my life that I haven't spoke to in a while. Like I would see folks I haven't seen in a while just appear to me. Like we'll have conversations, or like women. Like I thought for a while, I was like, I'm not ready to. I thought I had this mindset like I'm not ready to meet women, but now I'm just like I'm ready to explore. I'm ready to be out and do things. And women are coming to me. And I was having issues with my writing partners, and it was hard to attain their trust or just garner their attention on various aspects of our project. And now it's like they're reaching out to me to schedule things, and it's easier, and we're receiving a donor, someone who's backing our money, who's an NFL retiree, who's willing to pay for our endeavors in the future right now. And it's like it's easy. Like my friend has various connections through New York, so she's worked on like various shows. She's a DJ, but the person that she's in contact with works for HBO. We were going to pitch the show solely to HBO. Now we have the ability to pitch it to Netflix. So I can pitch it to Sci-Fi, but I'm not. Say for example, I'm going to pitch it to Hulu. All these places. And just the other day, I met a guy. Well, he works with me. My coworker. He explained to me that he knew someone that works for Instagram, and I have an idea for a show that I'm trying to pitch to them. And he's trying to plug me in and connect me with them. And I was looking for a space, and he had the space available not too far from here that I can use at a good rate. But the thing is, I won't have to pay for it. So it's like benefits within all of this. Just knowing that you can do it. It's just like the self-doubt just vanishes. Like once you like go into this program and you attribute all the life lessons that Quasi has to offer, you enter this flow state where everything just comes easy, comes naturally.
Now you know the 3 keys that you need to make this whole system work for you. You've learned the importance of clarity, why you must know what it is you truly want for your life, and why it is you want it, and who it is you need to become to achieve it, and why when you have all of these things into place, the how and when will just fall into place. And now this isn't to say that you just sit at home and you just pray and you just write down, okay, what it is I want, who it is I want, and why it is I want it. But also at the same time complement this with action. Understand what it is you want, and understand what is the first step, what is the one biggest step you can take to move towards it. Because the only way you'll uncover that path, that life purpose, if you will, is if you actually embark on the journey. The journey becomes clearer as you move one step in front of the other. Most people just sit at home on the couch and try to figure this stuff out. That's not what I'm saying. You actually have to embark on the journey as well and not be afraid to make mistakes. Okay? Because with mistakes, then you know that this path truly isn't for me. For example, I had to lose a lot of money in the stock market to understand that that wasn't for me. You understand key number 2, which is identity, and why you must really shift yourself at the very, very core and stop working on surface level shifts. Because without the identity, the beliefs won't work, the emotions won't work, the action won't work. Okay? And you're always going to fall back eventually to that neutral level, no matter how much progress you make. And the key to understanding this is understanding who it is you are right now and who it is you need to become to achieve your goals. So this first step must be completed as well. And finally, you learned about coordination and really what to do when this old self keeps coming back up, and why you mustn't fight this old self, but rather let it be and let the energy dissipate. Okay, so now that you know the 3 keys, you now know how to get unstuck in your business by solving the internal problem and actually hit a consistent high revenue, consistently hit high 5 figures in your business. You also know that if you're a professional, how to transition out of your full-time career into something that's much more fulfilling, or even hit higher levels in your career without staying stuck at this neutral level. And finally, if you're a creative, if you are an influencer, if you're a high performer, you now know how to stop hitting this same neutral level that you have in your career and shift it up to a higher neutral level and put the gas on it. So now that you know all of this stuff, it's a very, very crucial turning point for you, because now what are you going to do about it? Right? If you're like most people, you're going to think, oh, cool, this is just an interesting video that I watched and great. You're probably going to go back herping and derping, doing your usual thing, looking for the next best thing, the next shiny object to satisfy your craving for information. But if you're actually the select few who's dedicated to executing and implementing all of this stuff, then I have good news for you. Because right now I've opened some spots up in my calendar, and they're usually very, very booked, to jumping on a free call with me, a free consult with me, where we will determine if we're a good fit to work together in the Reality Mastery Program, where we use this very core, this identity shifting manifesto. Everything you've learned here to help you get to a point where you shift from this neutral level you're at to permanently getting to that high level, so that you can get unstuck in any area of your life. Okay? So if you're interested in doing that, make sure you click on that button to apply for a consult below. And this is where we'll be getting on a call personally to see if we're a good fit to work together, if I can actually help you. And this isn't another sales call, okay? I want to make sure you know that, because this is a call where we will be determining if we're a good fit to work together. This program is very selective. It's not for everyone, okay? I want you to understand that. I will only be making you an offer if we are a good fit. So make sure you click on the link in the description below to fill up a quick survey and then schedule a call with me. And if you qualify, we'll be getting on a call. If not, no problem. And then it's a great video you've watched, and I hope you enjoyed this. So just to really clarify, who is this call for? First of all, this is for those business people, this is for those entrepreneurs, these professionals, and also for the athletes, the creatives, the high performers, the influencers. Okay, if you're all of those, you're stuck in your business, you're stuck in your career, you want to take it up to the next level, this is for you. And this is for those who are actually looking to implement systems in their lives rather than look for a quick manifested overnight technique. And finally, who is this not for? Well, this won't be a good fit for you if you are looking for a lottery win and you are trying to manifest some quick thing, some quick fix in your life. If that's you, then this isn't for you. If you don't understand the value of working with a coach, this isn't for you either. If you're just looking to vent about your problems and just complain, then this video is definitely not for you. We will be having a serious conversation of how we can actually get you from this current situation you're at, what the real problem is, and how to actually help you maintain permanently that level you want to stay at. So if that's you, I invite you to click on that button below to apply for a consult, and I hope I see you there.